everybody, today it is Sunday, and to me Sundays are all about prep work, putting your grocery list together, figuring out what meals you want to make for the week. If you don't have the time to actually prep your meals, I at least like to get an idea of what the meals I want to make throughout the week are, so that way I can go to the store and I know exactly what I'm getting. Today I went to Trader Joe's and Whole Foods and picked up some essentials. I got some kombucha, cheese, fruits, veggies, and shrimp. I love me some shrimp. I feel like I go through phases of when I actually like to eat avocado toast, but this recipe seriously brings it to the next level. You're gonna want to use like fresh sourdough bread. I got this from my local bakery and toasted it. The key here is Celtic sea salt, red pepper flakes, honey, and pomegranate seeds. Like the heat just offsets the sweetness, and then the pomegranate seeds bring a little bit of a fresh crunch, and top it off with some lime juice to enhance the flavors, and this is seriously so good. The La Colombe cold brew has been my favorite, and I'll just add a splash of the oat barista blend oat milk, and this is just such a good pairing with the avocado toast. Mwah. I had some sweet potatoes I bought from Whole Foods I needed to use. I just want to show you how big this one was. Poked a few holes into the potato, and I'll just place it into the air fryer and spray some olive oil on top of it and just let it cook for 20 to 30 minutes depending how you like it. I was really busy this afternoon, so I put the sweet potato into the air fryer and took a meeting, and when my meeting was done, I came back down and opened up one of my salad packs that I got and just added the sweet potato, some chickpeas for a crunch, and I love the Trader Joe's green gratis salad dressing, and I also added some nutritional yeast. Just really easy. I didn't really have that much time, and I needed to use up some of the things that I had. All right, for dinner, I'm gonna put you on to my favorite low-calorie healthy dinner I've been loving recently. I use beef for this recipe, but you can really use any substitute for your liking for the marinade. I'm rinsing my spaghetti shirataki noodles and cooking them down for 10 minutes. These are great. The whole pack is 20 calories and they're vegan and gluten-free. And while these are cooking down, I'm going to put together my marinade. I use the Big Tree Farms teriyaki marinade. It's made from coconut aminos. It's really clean. And I also seasoned it with some garlic and herb and some garlic powder. Once my meat was cooked, I added it to my noodles and added my sugar snap pea crisp. I wanted it to be a little bit more saucy, so I added some more coconut aminos and some sriracha for some spice and topped it with some sesame seeds. You can also serve this with some rice. It's really good. I've had it with and without. This is just the perfect low-calorie meal. It really doesn't take that long, and it's really flavorful, and I'll leave the link down below. This is me enjoying it. Clearly, so good. If you've watched a few of my videos, you know I like to switch up my caffeines, and I love some matcha. I'm just whisking it here and adding some water. The key is to double whisk, so I'll use a wooden and my electric whisker. I love to use my oat barista blend oat milk from Khalifa, and I will whisk that as well before I add some ice, and I like to top it off with either some honey or agave. That was me icing my face, clearly enjoying my matcha. I was really busy this morning, so I kind of forgot to have breakfast, so I just went in with my lunch, which was some spring rolls. I just cut up some tofu, and I love to add my tofu into the air fryer. I will spritz it with some olive oil. Now for the peanut dipping sauce, but instead of peanut butter, I'm actually going to be using almond butter. Add some lemon juice, coconut aminos, garlic, sesame oil, and some sriracha, and just blend that. I forgot to add some water, so I'm just adding some water and re-blending it to make it less thick. Now I'm just chopping some veggies I would want to include into my roll. I'm using this rice paper that I lightly dipped into some water. You don't want to dip it too much, and then just roll everything that you want inside. It's really easy and refreshing. You can just use whatever ingredients you have, but I'll link the recipe below for the almond sauce that I use. But yeah, really good. For dinner, I wanted to try out a new recipe that I saw on TikTok, so I can link it down below. But this black forbidden rice has been a staple of mine. I got it from Whole Foods, and I'm just rinsing it and washing it. If you don't rinse and wash your rice, I don't know what you're doing. But game changer, I'm cooking it in some chicken broth. This adds so much flavor. If you can obviously use whatever broth that you like, it's going to add so much flavor to your rice. I'm going to be making like a cauliflower steak, so you're going to want to take your cauliflower and cut up thick pieces so it looks like a steak, and then steam it in some water for about 5 minutes. Once that is done, you're going to pat it dry and get your dippings ready. I got 1 cup of panko and 1/2 cup of flour. I used arrowroot flour and seasoned it with some unami seasoning from Trader Joe's, garlic powder, and paprika. Also going to need an egg to dip into. In the recipe called to add some coconut aminos as well. So you're just going to dip in the flour, dip in the egg mixture, and dip in the panko. Just going to fry that on both sides with a little bit of oil, and in the meantime I'm also going to be making the sauce that goes on the side, which consists of some Japanese mayo, miso paste, honey, and I think it's called marine. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Now it is ready to be served with the forbidden rice and the miso sauce. This was so yummy and the cauliflower was really crispy. To start off Wednesday, I had my favorite non-dairy yogurt. This is coconut based, and I'm not a huge fan of coconut flavoring, so this is very subtle, and this is in the vanilla cinnamon flavor. I added some banana, granola, and chia seeds. Very simple but good. I was very short on time today and needed something quick, so I had these Trader Joe's Kung Pao chicken mochi balls in my freezer and just popped them into the air fryer. For dinner, I had shrimp tacos with siete tortillas and some black beans on the side and just topped off with some avocado. I was very busy this day, so it was just quick meals. Thursday, I made some banana oat pancakes. I got my half of cup of oats and just blended that into the blender. Added 2 ripe bananas, 1/2 tablespoon of baking powder, some vanilla, salt, cinnamon, and blended it all up. And I topped it off with some peanut butter, some pomegranate seeds, and a little bit of maple syrup. I meant for a little bit, but I went a little heavy-handed there. I also had some cold brew to go with it on the side. This was so good with the pomegranates. It's like, I don't know, I'm obsessed with pomegranates right now. Speaking of pomegranates, I just made the same avocado toast that I did on Monday. I was short on time. Again, you can see a common theme. I don't have much time for lunch. But that is okay because I made one of my favorite dinners. This chicken rice dish is packed with flavor. You're going to need some chicken broth, coconut milk, as well as kidney beans. And the key here is seasoning. So I'm seasoning my chicken with some Creole, Slap Your Mama, and paprika. We're then going to cook it for 5 minutes on each side just to get it going. But it doesn't need to be all the way cooked because it's also going to be cooked in with the rice. And you're going to want to clean your pan and add some onion, some garlic, as well as some thyme. Once that is all softened, you're going to add your washed rice, add your kidney beans, mix that all up, and then add in your broth and coconut milk. I told you all this was packed with flavor. We seasoned the chicken, now we need to season the rice. I'm going in with a lot of paprika, the same Creole seasoning, and also the Goya Sazon seasoning. This is so good. It's not salty, don't worry about that. You're gonna mix that all up and let it cook for 5 minutes or until it's boiling. And then once it starts to boil, you're going to slowly and carefully add the chicken so it doesn't overflow. Now the hardest part is transporting it to the oven to make sure nothing spills. But you're going to cook that for 30 minutes and it's going to be the perfect, moist, flavorful chicken. I am not a huge chicken person and this is the exception. It's optional to top it with some green onion, but seriously, this is a winner in my house. There was no leftovers. And it's finally Friday and you know I had to have my cold brew. I decided to froth up my oat milk today, so it was sort of like a cold foam on top. I remember I had these acai packets that I got from Trader Joe's. I added some strawberries, blueberries, and almond milk and just blended that up to have my smoothie bowl where I topped it with some granola, cacao nibs, honey, and peanut butter. This is so good. I always forget how much I like smoothie bowls. I think since the weather was so nice, I was just craving it, and I also topped it with some cinnamon. For lunch, I just heated up some of this tempura cauliflower I had from Trader Joe's and had my leftover forbidden rice. I was also craving something sweet, so I got this Simple Mills brownie almond flour mix. It has very minimal ingredients, but yeah, it was just really good. I wanted something sweet. And for dinner, I wanted to treat myself to some Chipotle. I honestly didn't feel like cooking and it was Friday and I was proud that I didn't actually order anything else throughout the week. I actually had a hot coffee on this Saturday morning and I made some cold foam. I love my heart mug. I'll link it down below. But I wanted to have sort of like an egg McMuffin type breakfast, so I just fried an egg and added some pepper jack cheese. For lunch, I just had my leftover Chipotle bowl, but I heated up a siete tortilla to have on the side. And a little bit later, I also just got hungry again, so I made another smoothie bowl and topped it with the same as I did yesterday, but I actually added chia seeds on top. For dinner, I made this black bean burger that I got from online. I'll link the recipe down below, but it basically is black beans, onions, oats, and some pecans, and you're just gonna want to really season this, because if you don't season this, it's not gonna have any flavor. So I added more seasoning than the recipe called for because I wanted it a bit more spicy. But you're just going to blend it all up in your blender or food processor and cook it on the pan, and I just topped it over a bed of some lettuce and added some pesto on top. It was very good. Sunday, I made some cookie dough and ice cream. I made this in my What I Eat in a Day, so if you want to see the recipe, you can go there. And for lunch, we went out to a local market where I got some green juice and these Argentinian empanadas, which are so good. I forgot to film my dinner, but we just ended up having some leftovers. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. But thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far, and I'll see you all next week. Bye!